The Dallas Morning News, photo by Ashley Landis. Illustration by Joshua Friemel. Kyler Murray has made his decision. If he ends up being picked in round 1 of the NFL draft, he'd become the first player ever to be a first-round pick in both the MLB and NFL drafts. Here's where industry experts have him going this April. 1 stone overall, Arizona Cardinals DraftWire's Luke Easterling, Feb. 12. Is it crazy to think that Murray made his firm commitment to football over baseball because he knows something we don't? Maybe Cliff Kingsbury wants to handpick his franchise quarterback, one with a rare skill set who would fit perfectly with his offense. Taking Murray at no. 1 and putting Josh Rosen on the trade block would instantly throw this draft into chaos. 4th overall, Oakland Raiders NFL.com, Lance Zierlein, Jan. 29. This is not just some clickbait pick. Murray doesn't have prototypical size. Yeah, I get it. However, when you look at his ability to make winning plays, Murray stands out way above the rest of this year's QB class. He can be weaved into the offense in 2019 and take over for Derek Carr in a year. 7th overall, Jacksonville Jaguars NFL.com, Maurice Jones-Drew, Feb. 12. The Jags have an opportunity to get the next Patrick Mahomes. Murray is an explosive playmaker who will fit in well with a good defense. NESN.com, Joshua Schrock, February 12. The Blake Bortles era is finally dead and buried. If Jacksonville wants to get back to winning the AFC South and making deep playoff runs, they'll need an answer under center. Enter, the 2018 Heisman Trophy winner. Murray officially announced he'd be focusing on the NFL on Monday, and while he's far from a sure thing at 5'10", the Jags can't afford to let him slip through their fingers. Bleacher Report's Matt Miller, February 4. The best move the team can make is to identify and draft a starting quarterback early in the first round. That is, of course, easier said than done. The player that NFL scouts continue to be the most excited about is Oklahoma's Kyler Murray. He isn't a sure thing, but the buzz surrounding him is unlike anything I've heard in a long time. 9th overall, Miami Dolphins, via Buffalo, CBS Sports' Sean Wagner McGow, Feb. 7. The Dolphins are expected to move on from Tannehill as they embark upon a rebuild with a new coach. The first task, find a franchise quarterback. Assuming Murray sticks with football instead of baseball, the Mariners fan writing this mock would prefer for Murray to not join the A's. He's probably going to be a first-round pick even if he falls under the 6-foot threshold that most first-round quarterbacks are forced to clear. All it takes is one team to fall in love with him. The Dolphins, worried that the Broncos or Bengals could take Murray ahead of them, trade up with the Bills to no. 9. The Bills are more than happy to slide down to number 13 and secure some extra picks they can use to strengthen the team around Josh Allen. Even if the Dolphins draft Murray, they can still sign a bridge quarterback in free agency to ease Murray into the NFL. 9th overall, Washington Redskins, via Buffalo, CBS Sports' Chris Trapasso, February 1. Trade, Jal. Last week, I presented the prudent decision for the Redskins, stay put and snag Locke at 15. Here, with Locke and Haskins gone, the Redskins get antsy and move into the top 10, ahead of the Broncos, Bengals, and Dolphins, and swing for the fences with Murray. NFL.com, Chad Reuter, February 5. Picking behind at least 2 teams with quarterback needs, John Elway will have to either trade up to land his guy or take whichever top signal caller is available at no. 10 if he wants to improve the Broncos' QB situation via the draft. 11th overall, Cincinnati Bengals Sports' RJ White, February 12. The Bengals say they're happy with Andy Dalton, but new coach Zach Taylor has an opportunity here to develop a dynamic talent in Murray, someone with a far greater upside than the current starter. Best of all, Dalton's contract has no dead cap hit if traded. I think it makes perfect sense to call up Washington and see if they'd like to swing a deal for the solid veteran once the top 3 QBs are off the draft board. CBS Sports' Will Brinson, Feb. 6. Let's get this party started. Andy Dalton is over 30 now, so he's not going to magically become an all-pro and he has zero dead money left on his contract. Drafting Murray and pairing him with Zach Taylor takes the stodgy old boring Bengals and makes them cool and potentially an immediate threat to the AFC North. 13th overall, Miami Dolphins. Sporting News. Vinny Iyer, Feb. 12. As the Dolphins reboot their offense without Adam Gase and lean more toward moving on from Ryan Tannehill, they need more it factor and special leadership qualities at the position. Murray certainly has that with Heisman-winning passing and running. He lacks ideal size and isn't the pocket prototype, but his electric playmaking is attractive enough for him to be drafted earlier than some expect. WalterFootball.com's Charlie Campbell, February 11. I've spoken with a couple of general managers and some area scouts about Murray, and they all have him graded in the second round of the 2019 NFL Draft. That being said, plenty of quarterbacks valued for day 2 get selected in the first round. All of the sources were in agreement that an offense would have to be changed and built around Murray. They all said that he will have to play out of the shotgun. CBS Sports. Ryan Wilson, Feb. 11. The Dolphins have yet to officially move on from Ryan Tannehill, but general manager Chris Grier said last week that the team may fall in love with a quarterback during the pre-draft process. Murray is that guy. There will always be questions about his size, but given the way the game has changed over the last 5 years, it's reasonable to think he can flourish in the league. SB Nation's Dan Catter, February 11. If the Dolphins really fall in love with Dwayne Haskins or Drew Lock, they should pursue a move up. Unfortunately, getting from no. 13 to inside the top 5 would at least require this year's first and second round picks and a first round pick in 2020. Instead of giving up that many picks, the Dolphins could hold at 13 and take Murray, the fan-favorite Heisman Trophy winner. ESPN's Todd McShay, Feb. 7. Yes, the risk is apparent. Murray is undersized at 5'10" and still hasn't decided on his baseball career. But he has an electric arm and some of the best athleticism I've seen at the position in years. New offensive coordinator Chad O'Shea would have a real talent to develop at quarterback if Miami moves on from the Ryan Tannehill era. WalterFootball.com's Walter Cherepinski, February 7. NFL teams all soured on Russell Wilson leading up to the 2012 NFL Draft, despite the fact that Wilson had more experience and was more accomplished than Kyler Murray over a longer span. While Wilson didn't win the Heisman, he probably would have if he played in the Big 12. Instead, Wilson thrived in 2 conferences where teams actually play some sort of defense. Despite this, Wilson fell to the 3rd round. Now, just because Wilson has been an exception rather than the rule, Murray is somehow expected to be chosen in the opening round even though he's 2 inches shorter and 20 pounds lighter than Wilson. The Athletic's Dane Brugler, February 5. This is a love-loathe pick for Miami fans, and I understand both sides. Assuming he chooses football over baseball and shows his commitment to the NFL, Murray has a chance to be drafted in the top 15. There only will be a few teams that consider him, but the Dolphins might be one of them. Newsday's Nick Klopsis, Feb. 4. Whether or not Ryan Tannehill returns for 2019, the Dolphins may want to start planning for the future under center. Kyler Murray declared after previously signing to play in the Oakland A's farm system as the 9th overall pick in the MLB Draft. His size, 5'10", 195, may pose an issue in the NFL, though teams may be more apt to take a smaller passer in light of Baker Mayfield's success. Murray is an electric athlete with incredible speed and great arm talent. ESPN's Mel Kiper Jr., Jan. 17. The Dolphins need to rebuild. What better way to start that rebuild than to take the Heisman Trophy winner? Now, just because Murray has entered the draft doesn't mean he's sticking to football. He could still back out and play baseball. But I'm treating him as if he's all in for now, and if he goes to the combine, he's going to run a blazing 40-yard dash, and goes through workouts for teams. I expect him to be picked in round 1. This is an unprecedented situation for a 5'10" quarterback, but it's going to be fun to watch over the next few months. 15th overall, Washington Redskins. NFL Draft Scout.com's Rob Rang, Feb. 3. The horrific injury suffered by Alex Smith could force the Redskins to strongly consider all available options at quarterback. Murray is certainly not for everyone with his limited size and experience as a starter. Significant red flags. He is undeniably gifted, however, and few enjoy making a splash on draft day more than Daniel Snyder.